Uh.
All right. Hello. I can't do this reading to the side, and then I can't get it over. Hey, everybody. Welcome to
uh,
Co-Creation Station, the
uh,
podcast where we talk about spiritual magic, the law of attraction, and how to enjoy this strange journey we call life. My name's Collin. I am a spiritual guide and medium.
and my name's Stephanie, and I help people shift away from negative thinking, and it transforms their lives. And that's why we're here, people.
Yes. So thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you're listening to the audio version, and thank you for watching us. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you enjoy our show and you feel called to like us and subscribe to us, we would greatly appreciate your support. Each week we discuss a different topic, and this week we're going to talk about Stephanie. Why don't you introduce the topic?
We're going to talk about, let's see, how do I want to call this? Well, art of allowing stories. We all got them.
Art of
We want
allowing
to,
stories.
yeah.
I like it.
And this one in particular is one that Collin and I have experienced together, which is freaking awesome. It's
Why
it's
did you
one of
just talk about me like I wasn't here? That was weird. I'm right here.
It's one that Collin and I have experienced together. And
Sorry, just one interjection. I am a little confused about, is this, when we do this podcast, are we talking only to each other, only to the audience, or both? I think it's both, right?
yes, both.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you were talking to the audience when you referred to me in the third
Yes,
person.
yes, I did.
Got it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm good now.
And now I'm like, it just blew me out of the water. I'm like, ugh.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. So is that as much as you want for right now? Because I could just go on and, um,
No, you can't. Let's start the
okay,
story.
okay.
So
Well, I
these are
don't.
going to be stories about how, and we're mainly going to focus on one, how the art of
Right.
allowing actually works, like a retelling of the story, so we understand
Yeah.
how art of allowing brings things we want into our lives through the law of
Exactly.
attraction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well put. And I want to add to that how, when we ask, it is given. And I don't know if I ever shared this. I shared it with someone recently, but I actually thought of one thing one day, and it happened in the same week. I thought of one thing, never said a word about it. I wanted such and such. I thought this, and then another one I verbalized, and they both came to me like 5 days later. And so it just goes to show. I just want to helps people support them in knowing like we don't even have to like say the words, that when we even think a thought, a desire, spirit always says yes and it's done. And then it's about us getting into the space of allowing it. And even with the story we're going to share today, as with many stories that we have, there's so many things that come together in one experience of things that we wanted. And I really feel like that happened with us with this. So,
I just wanted to say one thing, or ask, I guess, because I felt like one of the eye openers for me about the art of allowing and law of attraction when I was first learning it was that, because my first exposure really was the film The Secret, which I still dearly love. I feel like a lot of people are down on it, and I am not down on it. I think it's amazing. I do feel like it doesn't tell the whole story the way that you kind of need to ideally understand it. Like, it requires more
well, that's our
information.
job. That's why we're here, right?
That's the reason for this podcast.
Yeah.
But purpose alert. But The Secret sort of talks a lot about how thoughts create things, and that to me has been true. But it's also that I think it's potentially confusing for some folks, because it is not just the thought, it is the thought coupled with my vibration. So, like what you were talking about, like Abraham used to talk about the rockets of desire. And what I understood that to mean was, if I have any kind of desire, like let's just say I just want a new apartment, the moment I have that desire, and I'm not sure that's necessarily just a thought. I think it's like I don't know. I guess I would characterize it as a feeling, even though it's attached to like a thing.
Yeah.
Um, that there's sort of this, as Abraham describes it, there's this rocket of desire that goes out to the universe,
Mhm.
and higher power, source, spirit, whatever you prefer to call it,
Mhm.
accomplishes it in kind of
Energetically.
in the unseen realm,
Right.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
energetically. So it's
Mhm.
already there.
Mhm.
Um, and then our job is, or my job is to not only think positive thoughts, but also to feel positively towards it. Because I think the primary thing that people get hung up on is if I say, I really want a new home, but I've got the negative energy of focusing on how I don't like my current home, then I won't attract, I'm delaying the arrival of my new home in time. Because what I'm actually putting out to the universe is even though my words are, please give me a new home,
Yeah.
the vibration is, I really want to focus on how much I don't like my current
Or
home
we
right now.
have doubt, or we have doubt like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't have the money, or how can that be?
right.
Or I got to
We
sell
can't see
this
the
one,
house.
whatever, you know.
Yep.
And something else that came to me when you were talking about that is we could just not think about it at all.
Mm,
We don't have to focus on something in order to get something
yeah.
because it's already been given when we asked. And so we can just go and think about something else as long as we're in that better feeling state. You
Yes.
know, any positive emotion is going to help us because then we're in an energy of receiving as
Hmm.
opposed to like any negative emotion. Abraham, I love him. And it's like there's two emotions. One feels good and one feels bad. And whenever
Yep.
we're feeling any kind of good feeling emotion, positive emotion, we're in that space of receiving. I mean, think about it. When any of us, you, I, anyone listening, has ever felt good, our day just gets better, cool things happen. Like it's just, law of attraction's responding, so things get better and better. And the opposite is true. When I'm in a bad mood, I remember one day I was driving and was really fretting over my mom. I was super upset. I almost got in a car accident. Like I almost rear-ended someone. And I just like literally was like, whoa, I need to shift my thinking
Hmm.
because I just almost got in an accident. And I knew it was because of the negative energy I was feeling. Anyways, whole different subject. We're getting off track, I feel like here. So
Are we
we don't
though?
even
Are we though? Are we ever truly
okay,
off
so
track,
so
Stephanie?
that could be that's another podcast we could do. We're gonna do this for years, baby. Um, so getting back
Yep.
to God, where do we begin? So Colin and I, you had just moved up to LA, right?
So
And
yeah,
yeah, and I heard
2014-ish.
so one of the first people when I think I was in my late 20s, a girlfriend had given me a cassette of Dr. Wayne Dyer speaking on some
Mm.
topic that her dad had given her. And she gave it to me. And I was like, whoa, I think he was really like the first person I ever heard talk about, personal growth and self help. Um, and so I had an affinity for him because I feel like he kind of like just kind of brought me into this whole new area of living in life. And so I heard, and then I, got interested in Abraham years later and love, they transformed my life. So then I heard Abraham and Dr. Wayne Dyer were going to be getting together. And I told Colin, I said, oh, I want to go. You want to go? And so we decided to go and meet up there. And so happy. I'm gonna, be with Colin. We're gonna have fun. And, Colin loves Abraham too. And were you a big Wayne Dyer person or I don't
I
remember.
was just gonna say, you reminded me, and I had totally forgotten about this. My actual first interaction with hearing anything about the law of attraction was Wayne Dyer. He did
Mm,
a PBS special. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it would have been like somewhere between 2002 and 2004, I think.
nice.
And it was called The Power of Intention.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I loved it. And I saw it,
Mm.
totally by accident. Like I was in a hotel for a day job at that point and was up way too late at night. And PBS was running the special. And it was just like, just everything about that was life altering for me. And so I remember I ordered the DVDs of the special and I just
Oh,
watched it
nice.
many times over. And that was really my first exposure to it. And I actually didn't find The Secret until, I mean, I think I'd heard about The Secret as soon as it came out,
Mhm.
And I don't remember what year that was, but it was a while before it came around, before I came around and actually watched it. But
Mhm.
I'm not sure I put like The Secret together with the Wayne Dyer stuff until I watched The Secret, and then I realized, oh, this is what Wayne Dyer was talking about, and these
Nice.
people are all sort of talking about the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah. So we drove up to LA. We bought our ticket. Well, actually, I bought my ticket, and then
Yeah.
Colin didn't buy his ticket, and he was like, "I'm just gonna show up and hopefully buy a
Because was it
ticket."
sold out? What, I don't remember why I didn't end up with a ticket.
Yeah, I don't
I think
remember what
you had been
happened.
smart enough to order early,
Yeah, I was
and
like, "I'm going."
I was like putting it off or something. Or maybe,
Yeah.
it, yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I couldn't get a ticket, and I feel like I don't remember 100%, but I feel like you were the one that said to me like you should just go and just trust that a ticket will be there. And I knew that was the correct thing to do. I was not doubt free. And I was like, driving from LA to Anaheim, it was at the Anaheim Convention Center in Orange County. It's not a trip you want to do lightly on at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
it was midweek. Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember because I got there earlier than you, because I needed to get a ticket, so I was trying to give the universe as much time as
Yeah.
possible to
Yeah.
gift me this magic ticket.
Mm-mm.
And I just remember like I got there and the line to get in, and it was confusing as to like, is there only one line? Is this the line of people who have tickets, don't have tickets? And I'm like, oh, it's sold out. So this is the line of everyone. Everyone here has a ticket. So I'm standing in this incredibly long line of people. I thought I got there early, and I was like, there are people here since this morning, dude. Because I think the seating was sort of going to be first come, first serve. So
Yeah, it was.
the further
Yeah.
up you were in the line, the closer to the front you were going to be able to sit.
Right.
And I just remember I was texting with you, and I was just like, okay, I'm here. I'm in this insane line,
Uh.
and nobody's magically throwing shit at me yet. But I really was trying to practice that, just practice possibility, just leave the door. I have this thing, I don't know if I got this from somebody else or if I invented it based on what someone else said, but I do have this thing I do, because what I've learned is you don't have to be like 100% open, positive,
Right.
and absolute
Never.
belief that you're going to get the thing. The way I try to think about it is I just have to crack the door for the universe. I have
Yeah.
to have a little bit of belief in me.
Yeah.
And then if I get the door of belief one crack open, then the universe can like get its hand in and like swing it open.
Well said.
So that's what I feel like I was definitely doing that night,
Yeah,
like
you
in
were
line. I was just
willing.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's open a
Yeah.
little, it's open,
Yeah.
just a crack.
Well, and I've gone to concerts. I remember a friend saying to me, she was just show up. There's always someone who can't make it, or,
Yeah.
trying to sell a ticket, people, and so that's where I kind of got that idea of like, well, just
Yeah.
go, you don't know. And so,
Yeah.
so what ended up happening? I don't remember. I know we got in. How did
Oh,
you get your ticket?
I was really hoping you would remember this part. So I think, yeah, because you
Didn't
ended
they
up
have a
getting
table
there.
or something and you went
They
over and asked them if they
did.
had any tickets that someone couldn't use or?
They did, and they said, again, this is hazy for me because you
Yeah.
got there and met me in line, I think, and there was still like no magic ticket flying at my face. So I think the line started moving. They opened the doors, which scared me because I was like, I gotta get my ticket before,
Yeah. Yeah.
silly. But the line started moving, and then I think we started seeing a table, which was still pretty far from the entrance. Like it was pretty like towards us from the entrance.
Yeah.
But I think once we saw that, you suggested that I go to the table and ask, and I was like, okay, that sounds reasonable. And my vague memory was that they said it was sold out. They didn't have any additional tickets, but people sometimes come to that table with an extra ticket if they have it to kind of say, oh, my friend or my wife couldn't make it, so if you want to give this away, So I waited there, and I feel like I waited for a while. Like I feel that's right. The line just like the entire line went in. Almost the
Shoot.
entire line went in,
Yeah.
and I was just
Yeah.
like, and And towards the end of the line, somebody did come over to the table and said, we have an extra ticket. Is there? And they were like, this guy. And I think by that time there were 3 or 4 other people who also needed tickets, but I had been the first in that sort of scenario. So I feel like I brought a lot of cash because it was a pricey ticket. I think they only charged me what the ticket price was. They didn't try to like scalp me or anything and make a profit, which was very nice. And and it was like, and it was one of those events too where it's like the rock stars aren't coming out for quite a while, so we had all the time in the world to like get our seats and everything. Like I was so worried of like, oh my god, what if I don't get my ticket and I don't get in? And, you know, and I was just trying to breathe and just go, dude, just flow, just have positive thoughts, just chill, you know, it's gonna be all right.
So we get in and we're sitting towards the back and kind of center stage in the back, and there's like probably I don't know, 500 or more people. I don't remember. It was a lot.
It was huge.
And so we, you know, the event goes on and they take a break. And I remember I was just super happy because I love spending time with you. We're at this event together, and so it was like we were both happy. And then I see across because it's a huge room, I see across the room a photographer, and he's taking pictures of people and asking, and I'm like thinking, I spy him. I'm like, oh, I want to get our picture taken. So I like bump up the happy energy to like, you know, if it was an 8, now it's a 10. And so he starts coming my way and I'm smiling and laughing. And he's like, oh, excuse me, can we take your picture? I'm like, yeah.
And I should say, just by the by here, it is very rare that I am out in public, fully showered, fully clean shaven, in a suit. I think I was in a suit.
You were.
I am never in a suit ever. And I was in a suit. I looked sharp for me.
Yeah,
and
you
I mean, you always look great, but I was like at my best, and even I was like, this is a damn good time to take a picture. Not gonna lie.
Well, and we, you know, we're always happy when we're together, right? We just enjoy each other's company. And I think like we, you know, our inner child would come out to play. And so that's where our joy comes from. So we're always, you know, I think at our best generally. And so he takes our picture and I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking I'm going to get that at some point, hopefully. Right. And so the event, it was wonderful.
I remember you asked.
Did I?
Like, can we get a copy of this? And the guy sort of said, he was very polite and friendly, but he said, I don't have anything to do with what happens with the photos. You'll have to contact Hay House, which is the company that was putting it on. Yeah.
So the event, you know, we had a great time and everything. And then months passed and I remember thinking, God, I want to get that photo. We were both in the vortex. It's going to be a great photo. Anytime anybody's happy, they're in the vortex, you know, we take our best pictures from that. And so I called Abraham Hicks Publications and I spoke to the receptionist and said, you know, I was at this event. I'd like to get a copy of, we had our picture taken from the photographer. I'd like to get a copy of it. And she goes, I don't know about that. She goes, let me find out. So I give her my name and number. I never hear back from her. And I'm like, damn, that would have been a great photo. So then months later, I remember it was around Christmas time. You'd come down to San Diego and we were going to go and have lunch and we were at your car.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about this part.
Oh, dude, this is like
I totally forgot about this part.
Yeah. And so we're talking about where we're going to go for lunch. Old Town Mexican Cafe, of course.
So good.
And
San Diego, California. Please support.
And so you're like, oh, look what my mom bought me. She, you know, she gave me a Christmas present early, and she, you know, so you pull this out, and this is the DVD to the event we went to.
Right.
And she had given you the book too, and you're like, I didn't have the heart to tell her that I'd been at that event, and she gave me this, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I called that. What?
No, go ahead. I feel like I'm remembering this part differently because I remember my mom was the one that said
later.
She got me to look. Yeah. Okay.
That was later.
That was later. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I'll shut up.
So you show me the DVD in the book, and I'm like, yeah. I start telling you, I'm like, yeah, I called them and asked for the photo because I know that photo is going to be great. I want a copy of that. And I go, I never heard back from them. And you're like, yeah. And so we drive off separately to the restaurant, and we were there and we decide what we want and we order our food. And then within minutes of sitting down, this woman comes over and she's like, can I take your picture? And we both start laughing.
Which is not the reaction she wanted.
So she's looking at us like, what is wrong with you guys?
Oh,
And
two
I'm
crazy
like,
people.
and so I start asking her, well, how much? And da da da. She goes, oh, what'd she say? One picture for 10, or if you buy two, it's 15.
Yep.
And we're like, yeah. And so she takes I go sit next to you, and she takes our picture. And then she walks away, and we're like, what? I'm like, oh my God, we were just saying I wanted a picture of us in the vortex, because, we were totally in the vortex, super happy to be together. And she comes back like 10 minutes later, and she shows us a color picture and a black and white picture. Here we are at the Old Town Mexican Cafe. I picked the black and white one. Did you too pick the black
Yeah.
and white? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And look at us. We're like so happy. It's a great photo of us. and we are blown away. Oh my God. Like what did it take us? 20 minutes to drive there? Within 30 minutes of me saying, I really want that picture of us in the vortex.
Yeah.
The universe is like, I got you back, girlfriend, here.
Yeah. So at that point, you're right. At that point, we thought the whole the photo taken at the Abraham Wayne Dyer event was just lost to the.
We didn't have a copy.
Yeah.
We didn't have a copy.
And no way to get it. Yeah.
So,
that we knew
so
of.
you want to tell the rest?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, well, you're gonna have to help me though, because
It was
guess
months
I must have
later.
told
It was
my
months.
mom.
It was months later. I don't know. Well, your mom watched it, so she bought a copy for herself too. I think
Yeah.
of the DVD. So
Okay.
I don't know if she bought the book too, but she had a copy of the DVD
Okay.
of the co-creation at its best, which I think is adorable because our podcast is Co-Creation Station. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, so I think what happened was, I'm not remembering the order, but I think when I got it.
No, she bought it for you. She watched it before you did.
Yeah.
And she
that's what I was
said,
thinking.
Collin, you're in it.
Yeah.
And
she said,
and
"Oh, I
you're
saw
like,
you and your friend in it." Yeah.
yeah. And you're like, what?
And so I
so
watched the entire DVD, the entire thing again.
Yeah.
And I'm like pausing on every shot of the audience. And we weren't that far back, but it was like
we were really far back.
It was three quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't in the back, is what I'm saying.
No, we weren't in the back.
The sweeps they did with the camera were very wide, a lot of them. They had close-ups of people in the front, but they did wide sweeps. But not only would it have been too far away, but like the camera was always pointed exactly the opposite of the direction where we were sitting. So like every shot of the crowd, I'm like, there's no way we can be in that shot, because I know where we were sitting and I know what they're showing with that shot of the camera.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole thing. Nothing. There's no Collin, no Stephanie.
You're like, my mom's crazy. We're not in this. Like, what is she seeing?
Yeah, because I mean, my mom's observant, but I mean, like she's got some sort of eagle eye I didn't know about, because there must be some momentary flash from the audience where like we're there. But I watched it again and I slowed it down again in every shot of the audience. And I'm like, I don't know what the heck my mom is talking about. Like, we are not in this video. Like, they don't ever show the part of the seating where we were sitting. So it's like, we're not in this video. And I don't know if I told you that at that point. Like, hey, I watched the whole video. My mom said that we were in it, but whatever.
You did when I think you told me everything in the voicemail. I actually still have the voicemail.
Oh really?
I do. I could probably play it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think the second time I watched it, I was like just sitting in frustration. Like, this is like, like at this point, it's like I don't super care because I guess at this point we have the amazing photo that got taken at the
Yeah,
restaurant in San
yeah,
Diego.
yeah.
So I'm like, we're good. It's weird that my mom got like hearing
Yeah,
what my mom
you're like,
said
my
got
mom's
my hopes
crazy.
up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like there's a shot of the audience and like
Of us
Stephanie and
in
I are in
there.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, we're not in that at all. But the second time I let the DVD run, like the first time I watched it to the end of the event, like when Wayne Dyer and Abraham stopped speaking, and then I just like went back to the beginning. The second time I let the DVD run, and what it carried over into was a montage of still photos with beautiful music underneath of people who were at the convention center in the audience at some point, but this was still photos of them not at
At
the
the
event,
break,
but not while it was going.
at the
Yeah,
break time, at the break time.
at the
Yeah.
break or before or
Yeah,
after
or
someone
after.
said.
Yeah.
And as I started to see the first few, and there was like so many, there's like 30 of them,
Yeah.
30 photos. But as they start going, I'm like, oh my God. Because it's like you watch the video and it's this really incredibly powerful thing that happens in their conversation. And then it's like, instead of showing like a montage of like Abraham and Wayne Dyer, they show this montage of the audience. So it's like,
Mm.
here are the stars of the show. And like, here's two middle-aged ladies from, from Newport Beach. And here's, and I'm like, wow, this is really like anybody who watches this DVD, if they watch this part, it's like you're like featured. And I'm like, is this what my mom was talking about? And I'm like, there's no way that our little incidental photo was like one of the primary things in like the whole emotional coda of this video.
Yeah.
And sure enough, like we're one of the last three, I think, but there it was. There it was.
So
Do you have that? You have that
well, it's in the DVD. We'd have to play the DVD. I
no.
don't have.
Oh, please. I screenshotted that like
Oh, I
the day
do.
after.
Yeah, that's right. Because I have it in my contacts of you. You're absolutely right. Oh, great.
Let
This
me
is
see.
awesome. Pull it up. So I think I still have the voicemail. Oh my God.
Okay.
But so I had just gotten a facial, and so my phone was off. And so I come out of my appointment and I see I have a voicemail from you, and I play it, and you're like over the freaking moon
I
happy.
was
You're like, dude,
beyond
oh my
jazzed.
God, we're like in it. I'm like, and you start, pretty much telling me, let me see if this is it. Oh, this is cute. It was April. Oh, what? Let me see. Yeah,
Oh, I got it.
it says I have it, but it's just, it won't play it. So go. Oh, here it is. Wait. Oh, I'd have to take it off my earpiece. Hang on, let me see if I can do this. No, I don't have it on my earpiece. Let's see if you can hear it. Yeah, I don't think it'll play. I can hear it, but it's so low. Go for it.
I'm just bringing it up here. Sorry.
Okay.
This is like
I wish you guys could hear it. So
yeah.
So I still have
people
it. It
listening
saved
to
it.
the audio version are like, what is going on right now? So that sorry. For the audio podcast people, my apologies, but I put the
there
photo
we
up.
are. Look how happy we are. Oh my God.
I have never been
You
more
look so handsome.
clean shaven and well dressed in my life when a photo has been taken. I think my senior prom was probably the last time I had
look at you, suit, tie. Oh my God. I know. Like, have I ever seen you dressed? No, I've never seen you dressed like that before. Since. I can totally see my grandmother's nose in that picture. She's Indian. How funny.
Yeah.
So literally, y'all, when we were standing at the back of his trunk that day, getting ready to go to the restaurant, and I'm like, yeah, I wanted that photo. It looks so. Literally, Collin was holding the photo, and we didn't even note it because it was in this DVD. That was so awesome. So, yeah, it's like, dude, I'm looking. My roommate's got a big old screen TV. Their faces are just plastered all over you. We're so happy, and I'm like, oh my God, we're happy. Okay, so this is where It just blows my mind. Spirit does this all the time. When we ask, it is given. And so there's all these things that we want. We don't even remember. There's like a bajillion things out there that we want: experiences, people, places, you name it, how we want to be, what have yous. And Spirit knows it all, has remembered everything, and is so efficient and can gather so many things into one experience. So me being someone like, the teachings of Abraham have literally transformed my life. There's been a lot of other things, but really in the last 8 or 9 years, practicing their teachings has just transformed me. It's been amazing. I've been able to share it with clients and other people, and it just transforms. So I love their work. And so to be in one of their products that they sell, like my photos in there with my really good friend who has been a part of my journey. And in our joy, we're in this. It just like blows my mind. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't that I was up on stage, I'm not Wayne Dyer, but I'm in one of their products, and it's like, oh, forever.
Yeah.
And I have that. And it's like, yeah. So, and I got this freaking, I haven't looked at this in forever. I have it up on my bookshelf, but I love this photo of us. Look at us. And then the one you put up, and it's just like, oh, it's so special. I'm gonna cry.
No, I mean, I feel the same way. And I have like a little bit of a, or maybe a big, I don't know, unhealthy relationship with fame that I've been working on for many years, and I still continue to work on it. There's part of me that wants to become famous. My ego wants to become famous because my ego thinks that that'll be great. Um, and so I do struggle with that sometimes, and I kind of sometimes overvalue experiences that look like fame, or some small part of fame or something like that. And so but this really wasn't about that. Like, no, like normally if you looked at my life, and you said, oh, Colin freaked out because of X, like he was in some video, like that might be like, yeah, he might have been in his ego, like, yeah, dig me, I'm in the video. But really it wasn't really about that. It was just like, what I wanted was the photo. Like, I wanted that just for us. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
care if anybody else
Yeah.
saw it.
Right.
I just wanted to have it so that you and I could have another wonderful memento
Right.
of our friendship, and a wonderful memory of a time we had together. But then once we had the photo from the restaurant, it's like, well, that might have been, I was thinking, I didn't know what the picture at the event
I
would look
know.
like. So
And it didn't even
like,
matter
this is
because I was like,
amazing.
we have this.
So
Yeah.
I'm not going to care. But then when I saw it, it was sort of like one of those things of like, oh, it's almost like, because we just went because we were called to, because we knew we would have a good time together, because we knew it would be amazing. I went even though I didn't have a ticket, just trusting that it would work out, and it totally did. And we were just so happy and just enjoying our friendship together and our time together. And then so that being the energy of it, that being our vibration, that carried us into what I might, if I was stuck in my ego, be like, well, if they're taking pictures, I want to be in the picture, like, I want to be in this video. I want to be important. And it's like, I wasn't in that space at all. I didn't care about being in the DVD. That never even entered my mind that they were going to do that, because they didn't tell
I
us
didn't,
that.
yeah, I wouldn't have thought.
They never told us how
Yeah,
that was going to get you.
no,
I thought maybe it would just be like a part of like some sort of advertisement
yeah,
for the
yeah,
DVD later, where they just
promo.
show you
Yeah,
little
yeah,
photos or something. And
exactly.
again, probably they were taking zillions of pictures of people, so
And we
ours
did it!
statistically wouldn't even make the cut. And then it
I
was like,
know.
and then when I was watching it on my former housemate's gigantic television, and like Collin and Stephanie get blown up in gigantic, thing with this like beautiful music playing underneath, like,
Yeah, it's
here are
so
some of the
awesome.
amazing people that came to this event. I'm like,
And
it blew me away.
yeah, with Dr. Wayne Dyer at Nestor Hicks
Mm.
co-creation at its best. I think it's so perfect. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's another example
Yeah.
of, the power and joy, and just being in the flow, doing what you love, have a good time, be with
Well,
people you like.
the other thing too for me is that we were in such a place of flow, like non-resistance, just being happy and just taking what comes, that the desire that shot out of us was we would like to have a great picture of us while we're this happy. And we were so in the flow that the universe said, how about two? And how about if I put one of them in a DVD that thousands of people are going to purchase and watch?
Of
And it's one
people
of those
that
things of like,
you
we limit ourselves. Like this, that's one
yeah.
aspect of this, is like we limit
Oh,
ourselves sometimes
wow.
when we think
Yeah.
this is the
Best it
best
could
I can
be.
get.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by us not doing that, we let the universe give us two amazing photos. And one of them is in this video associated with people that we admire and are inspired by.
Yeah, I mean, two of my
And keep those for
teachers, like
us.
two
Yeah.
of my teachers,
Yeah.
they kind of like bookend because it started with Wayne Dyer. I don't know that it's going to end with Abraham, but for today, those are my, and
Yeah.
so to be, wow, that's, good job. Good
Yeah.
job. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think,
And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
but let me just interject this is like how just to know that we don't have to be 100% overjoyed
Yeah.
because driving up, I was in a lot of traffic. Like, I don't know, it was 20 minutes. I was 20 minutes away, but I was in traffic for like 20 minutes. I mean, it was just
Mhm.
like, ugh. And you not knowing whether you're going to get a ticket, like, so
Yeah.
that it's never that we don't have, any negative emotion or any kind of resistance. It's not that. It's just that we just need to tip the table a little bit to where
Yeah.
we're 55% or even 51% of more in positive emotion than in negative emotion. It's not that we never have a negative emotion because we do, we're human, but
Mhm.
it's just that we're more into that, the higher vibration. And we can, but
I think another important aspect too is, and this could be like a whole other episode, which it may be in the future, but if you're trying to co-create with someone else, it's really good if you have someone who you can feel great with, like someone who you very easily have fun with, you get along with, you laugh
mm,
together, you like playing together, whatever that is for you.
yeah.
If you are trying to co-create with someone who's toxic or stuck in negative beliefs or stuck in
Mm,
like a deprivation mentality or something like that,
run, run.
you're, well, I mean, that's a longer discussion. But I mean, the short version of that is it's going to be far more challenging for you to welcome things into your life trying to co-create with someone like that than to co-create with someone who just makes you happy just being with them. And I think most people in their lives have somebody who they just feel like, this person just makes me happy when I'm around them. And so if you want to co-create,
Or
then
whether you are a good fit, like,
right, yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, where I have qualities that you don't and vice versa. And we, like
yes,
they say opposites attract. And there's a reason
hmm,
for that because we need all things, right?
yeah,
So I can't be all of it, but then you can. And so we come together and it's just this really nice match.
yeah,
Just like with business partners, they say, like,
yeah,
don't have someone who has the same qualities as you because,
right,
there's things that we need. And so hopefully that other person brings what we don't have. And so that makes for a good fit.
yep.
Oh, so, oh, it's
All
so good
right.
to relive those memories.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm really glad we did this because one of my issues in terms of getting better at this work, because that's my goal, is to just continually improve at this work so I remember it more often. We might do a future episode on scripting, which is one of the things I do to like
Ooh,
keep reminding myself that
ooh,
I'm creating my days, I'm creating my experiences
yeah.
in cooperation with higher power, source, spirit, but universe, whatever. But that I have this role, and I one thing that happens for me is like I'll have these amazing experiences where I know that I had a desire and I practiced a good vibration, and then I allowed it in and it manifested into reality for me. And
Yeah.
then I forget that happened. And this voice of doubt that says, that stuff, that law of attraction stuff doesn't really work.
Or
Like
the art of
starts,
allowing, because that's what
yeah,
you were doing, is
yeah.
the art of allowing
It
being
just says,
a
oh, that stuff doesn't
cooperative
work.
component. Yeah.
That's some weird tutti frutti
Yeah.
Southern California, whatever.
Right.
But it's like I've had all these experiences. I mean, that's one of the biggest ones, but we have another one we can talk about.
Ew! I know. So okay,
We should talk
so
about that in a future episode.
okay, yeah, definitely. Only
Yeah.
Human? Are we talking about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think next week we should talk about scripting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd
Can we
willing
do that?
to do that. Yeah.
Unless we had something else on the table. But
Nope.
all right.
And somebody said to me, I'm just going to say this live on the episode because I want to be accountable in a good way. We're shooting these one per week. We shoot them on Sundays on Zoom. So thank you, Zoom. But we didn't commit to like they're definitely going to be posted on a certain day or whatever. And I've been posting them, both the podcast and the YouTube version. And this week I didn't post anything, and so, which is okay. I think that's
Yes,
okay.
it is.
But what I realized is I really want, for the right reasons, I want us to publish them on the same relative time, same day of the week, so that if people really become interested in it, those that do, can look forward to it and know when the next episode's coming out. Because like when I get into a podcast, if I'm catching it while they're actually making it, I get so like, I want the next episode. And,
Okay.
So I think what I'll commit to is we will be publishing the new episode on Monday morning, California time. So I will post the new episode on Monday morning. So in the future, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel or you subscribe to the podcast or both, you can look forward to Monday mornings, California time. We'll have a new episode for you every week.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Well said.
All right. Now I'm going to read this awesome closing that we wrote last week. And next week, hopefully I can figure out how to get it on the same screen so I don't have to look this way. But we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you feel called to like us or subscribe, it helps us a lot, and we are very grateful to you. If you want, if people want to find you, Stephanie, they can reach you at
www.powerinjoy.com. POWERINJOY.
That's awesome. And you can always reach me at my website, collinworster.com, which is COLLINWORSTER.com. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will see you or hear you, or you'll hear us on the next episode of Co-Creation Station. Thanks so much.